those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors. Welcome to the Ask the Expert Show with local celebrity hosts Steve-O and Renee. Sit back each week while Steve-O and Renee educate you with live in-studio experts, such as lawyers, doctors, home improvement, and financial experts in their field. Call in and have your questions answered each week at 888-565-1470. Now, here is Steve-O and Renee with today's expert in their field.
Hey, good afternoon and welcome to another Ask the Experts, where we bring you the top experts in the field of home improvement, legal, health, and financial. Today's home improvement for the first half hour today. Beautiful day outside, but guess what? It's rainy season's right around the corner.
And you know what that means.
Right. We're setting everybody
Mold.
water damage.
That's exactly it.
That's a little tease we have. Hey, if you've just tuned in for the first time, you can actually watch our show live by going to
www.wwnnradio.com. Let me help you along.
Do it again for me.
www. You just want to
Wait,
get
start
me
over again.
W's. I'm not saying it again. And if you have a question today for our guest, you could call us at 888-565-1470.
If you're stuck in that traffic, this is the best way. If you're going to be stuck in traffic, you are going to learn so much today about mold and mildew removal, water damage restoration, or maybe, God forbid, you might have had a fire or some kind of smoke damage to your house.
He does it all.
We've got the best. Let's welcome Zach Brock.
Hey, thanks for having me again today. Really appreciate it.
We have him every month.
And the name of his company is Secure Restoration.
That's right.
Welcome to the show, Zach.
Thanks very much.
We have so many questions for you today, but we've got to start off because you've already had some calls from last time. Let's start off talking about what insurance actually covers.
Absolutely, and this is really, really an important thing because a lot of people can assume that just because they've got an insurance policy, they're automatically going to be covered for water damage. In the last couple years, a lot of your main insurance companies and Citizens, which is basically the default insurance company for anyone who can't get insurance somewhere else, has stopped covering water damage from roof leaks.
Wow. And people don't know this.
A lot of people don't know this because they weren't informed of it. It's something that happened across the board to everybody.
And most people don't even read their policies.
It's 60 or 70 pages.
Exactly.
It's written by attorneys. You couldn't make sense out of it unless you're used to reading that kind of thing. So it gets filed until there's a claim. Well, that's too late at that point
Right.
when there's a claim because nobody else is going to give you insurance for it. They're not going to cover you for it. And one thing that I'll tell you about, a situation that we just ran into this week, very nice elderly woman that we were working with got called out for a water damage job. She had a flood from a slab leak come up. She had insurance, pulled out her insurance policy, and she had what was called an HO8 insurance policy because she's part of a PUD or a townhome condominium.
Okay.
Well, there's different types of policies for that. Her policy specifically excluded any kind of a water loss.
Wow.
We're talking about a woman on a fixed income who had to have a kitchen removed, half of the floors in her home.
And nothing was covered.
Not one penny
Wow,
covered
that's
by the insurance
horrible.
company. It really is. I mean, to see someone who thought that they were insured was paying their insurance premium and would have been eligible for a policy that would have qualified for this.
Mm-hmm.
And her insurance agent didn't give her the right policy.
Well, that's why you have to be proactive and take a look at your policy and ask questions.
Absolutely, and that's one of the things that I'm going to offer to your listeners here today because we're used to doing this. We're not insurance agents, but we work with these insurance carriers all day long. If you're not sure if you're going to be covered, call us now. Someone from the office, fax us your policy. We'll take a look at it.
You'll take a look at it for them.
We'll read through it. We'll tell you, hey, this is what you'd be covered for if it happened. This is what you're not covered for. And we can recommend an insurance agent to you that can help them out if they don't have the right kind of coverage.
Right, and Zach, you do not work for the insurance company.
Have never taken a job from an insurance carrier ever.
Which is big.
Absolutely. We work for the homeowner and the homeowner only. We're there on their behalf. There's a lot of companies in our industry who get the bulk of their work from the insurance companies, and they're never going to step up and they're never going to stand up for the policyholder. We're here to protect the interest of the policyholder, whether it's in a claim or even before the claim. We're going to help you see what would happen because, like we said, once that claim happens, it's too late.
Well, especially now in rainy season, give your phone number out so you will look at people's policies because
No charge.
at this time of year, people have roof leaks and there's mold and mildew damage. So be proactive and call Zach.
Absolutely. Call our office at 561-360-2171. Say, I heard about you on Ask the Experts. Will you please look at my insurance policy? Tell me if I would be covered if something happened.
I'm sending mine over.
But seriously,
I am.
think about that. Here you think you're covered. No one ever expects a roof leak. And all of a sudden we get one of our downpours and you've got a problem and hey, there's no
But
problem.
not even for the roof leaks. If you have a leak in your bathroom, everybody has leaks in their house.
It's
a
gonna
kitchen
happen.
leak, some type of leak.
It's inevitable. It's going to happen.
Exactly.
Like a couple weeks ago, we had that 7 inches of torrential rain.
That's right.
Do you know how many people called us that didn't know they didn't have insurance?
Wow.
And they not
It's a scary
not
thought. It
covered for
really
this?
is.
So, someone goes in and we're in there to dry out the house. They've got to pay for this out of pocket. And that's not a cheap proposition. And here they're like, well, I had insurance. Well, it gets down to knowing what you've got and really taking a look at it because when the time comes, it's too late.
And especially, wait a second, I have to say this also. A lot of times when you have water damage and then you get mold, you end up having to rip out a whole bathroom or a whole kitchen. So it becomes you have to rip up the floor. So it becomes very costly.
Absolutely.
And you do that also. You'll do the renovations.
We do the renovations. We get rid of the mold. We'll take care of it. We'll dry the property out. But it's important if you have any kind of a leak, you've got to start drying within 24 to 48 hours. After that, you're going to be growing mold. And you're talking about, it's not something that you can spray with a spray bottle from Home
You can't
Depot
spray
and
that
get
with
rid
bleach.
of. Can't spray with
I spray.
bleach.
I told you this last time.
Right.
I spray bleach on Steve O.
Is that what that was?
That's why your beard's white. I spray bleach on everything, figuring that gets rid of the germs and everything else.
Bleach is great for getting rid of germs.
Right, but
it
not the
doesn't,
mold.
doesn't kill mold. It actually will discolor the mold. And since it's 97% water, you're actually feeding it. So
I'm feeding the mold.
you're feeding it. So
And now
it's
Zach's got a
counterproductive.
561 number, but do you just cover Palm Beach County only?
Oh, no. We cover Broward, Martin, St. Lucie, Okeechobee, and Palm Beach counties.
Everywhere. He covers everything.
You know, we're learning with so many different shows that we do that a lot of people write this phone number down. They don't have a problem now, but because, they listen to the show, they know we have the experts on.
Well,
that
Zach
when
just
they
offered
do,
to look at people's insurance
I think it's
policies.
great.
So you have to call him. Be proactive.
There's no charge for it. Pull out your policy, send it over. We'll take a look at it for you.
I love that.
We'll get back to you within 24 hours, and we'll give you our recommendations for it. Then it's up to you to decide what you want to do with the policy. But at least you're informed at that point of knowing that,
God
hey,
forbid something
God
happens,
forbid
yes.
tomorrow my neighbor's pipe bursts or my pipe bursts and my house is underwater. Am I going to be stuck rebuilding my house out of my own pocket? Because a lot of people don't have the money
right,
to do that.
that's
a lot
a
of
huge
money.
expense.
we had a major air conditioning leak, and our air conditioner is actually in the attic.
Came through the ceiling.
Came through the ceiling, and I think it took a couple days for whoever came out, but there was water build up there, and I have been coughing for probably the last 6 months. And there's people out there that don't know they might have mold.
Absolutely, and you brought up something that's a major issue in South Florida is these air conditioners and these air handlers that are sitting in the attics. It's not a great design for South Florida.
It's not.
Just because that air conditioner is sitting there at 55 or 60 degrees in order to get your house at a cool 70 to 75, and it's in the hottest part of the home in an
Yes.
unconditioned space that you never go look at. How often do you go look in your attic?
Exactly.
Maybe when you're putting Christmas
There's
decorations
squirrels.
away.
My
Maybe.
Christmas decorations don't even go up there. There's squirrels up there. I've heard them, Zach.
A lot of the older homes don't have what's called a safety float switch in the drip pan. So if your air conditioner starts to back up, it's got that pan underneath it that's going to catch water.
Right.
Newer ACs have a float switch that'll
We
shut it
now
off
have
if it
it, yes.
fills. If they don't, the thing runs and runs and runs, and first it soaks the insulation,
Right.
and then it's the sheetrock, and by the time you can actually see it come through your ceiling, it's probably been happening for weeks.
What I'm upset about is we we paid for this house. We paid $32,000 for this house. I was outraged. And I walk in, and I think it's like 400 square feet. This is not a condo. This is a
We
house.
live in the hood.
We have wheels under our house. Where those came from. But, I mean, it's important that people don't know if they have mold.
Absolutely. Signs to look for. Do you feel better outside of your house than you do in it?
Do you?
Do you have headaches?
Yes.
Do you wake
Ooh,
up
she
with
does.
coughs? Sometimes,
All day.
sometimes crusty eye. Just generally feel lethargic in your home.
Yes.
What if you see four of somebody?
You might have been drinking too much, but probably not mold. But there may be other issues that we can talk about.
He's got a lot of issues.
But all joking aside, those are all signs of indoor air quality issues, and that's something that we're equipped with, even
Wow.
if it's not mold. We're indoor air quality specialists. It's easy for me to say. I'm a board certified indoor environmentalist. That
So
means
do you come in to test for that?
we can do air quality testing
That's what I'm
inside your
asking,
home.
yes.
We can test for other chemicals that may be present because it might be other issues. Sometimes when you buy new cabinets and things like that, you saw on the show this week or last week was 60 Minutes Lumber Liquidators, high formaldehyde in a lot of their flooring that was put
No, I
out
didn't
there.
see that.
Yeah, a lot of high formaldehyde people are starting to get sick. That's one of the things we can test for.
Wow.
We can test for any substance in the air that may be affecting your health. There was a real interesting study that got put out about 2 weeks ago too that shows that young children and grandparents, parents, listen to this. This is real serious. Young children who are exposed to mold between birth and 1 year old are 85 times more susceptible to become lifetime asthmatics than someone who is not. This is
Wow.
a study that was put out there, very serious scientific study, major PhDs that have done this, some brilliant minds. It decreases between 1 and 7, but even up to 7 years old, these kids are at very serious risk for brain development, respiratory development, things like this. And if they're exposed to this, or if you think they might be exposed to it, call us and check it out. Why would you take that risk? It's very, very serious.
Exactly. Wow.
What do you look for when you come into the house when there's a house they think they might have mold?
There's a couple things. First of all, if we've been called out there and we know that there's been a water event, we're going to go to that point. And water event, any kind of a flood or a leak or something like that, that'll be where we start. We'll look for signs of paint peeling, past water damage, things like that, because mold is all around us. It's in the air when you walk outside. It's only become a problem when you have it trapped inside your home and you've added water, because that's what mold needs to grow. So at some point, whether it be through humidity or whether it be through an actual leak, it's had to have a water source for it to grow. Those are the signs that we look for. And then if we can't find anything, then we'll do generalized air testing just to see what areas warrant even further inspection. We've got top-of-the-line technological equipment, infrared cameras. We can see behind your walls. We can see the temperature differentials that might be caused by trapped water that aren't visible. We've got all the tools of the trade to come in and really evaluate your home and make sure it's the safe place that you intended it to be.
What about discoloration of the paint? Like you see.
Well, I would
some-
think that would be a big sign.
That's a big sign that you probably got some type of fungal or microbial
I didn't know
growth.
if it was Renee's cooking, something she threw on the wall and just.
That's your dinner from last night, burnt.
But that's this thing to look for, right?
Absolutely. Any kind of discoloration, if you see what looks like, mildew, a lot of people say that. Most of the time it's not mildew, it's mold. Mildew is what you're going to get on the outside of your window or maybe a little bit in your shower on the tiles. But if you see that growing on your walls, that's not mildew, that's mold.
How many different types of molds are there?
There's thousands of different species and genuses of mold out there. And people will often ask us, hey, is that the bad mold? Well,
Is there a good?
Is there a good mold?
there really isn't.
Well,
And there's some out there like
they're
on
toxic,
HGTV that have been put out there that are extremely toxic. But no mold is good. And almost all of them can cause respiratory issues and different symptoms to your health. So the answer is, if it's there, it needs to be not cleaned, not killed, removed, because people don't realize that your body doesn't know the difference between a mold spore that's alive and one that's dead. A dead mold spore is just as allergenic and will cause the same symptoms as a spore that's alive.
So you'd have to take out cabinetry, sheetrock.
There's
I mean,
companies.
it could be a major job.
Absolutely. There's companies out there that'll tell you they can put some antimicrobial paint on it or wipe it off or spray it with this.
But that's not true.
Baloney.
Okay. If it sounds too good to be true, then it's not.
That's right. That's a shortcut, and you don't want to take a shortcut with your health.
We're getting ready to go to break. If you're a property manager, if you manage your apartments, and you might think that, what if maybe we have mold, or maybe we have water damage problems, and you want to make sure
And
that
he doesn't just do residential; he does businesses
That's
as
what
well.
I'm saying. So
Absolutely.
this is really great if you're an apartment manager, if you're a property manager. When you have a company like Zach's who has a show on every month, there's a reason why. And let's give out your phone number before we go to break.
Absolutely. It's area code 561-360-2171. That's Secure Restoration.
And we're going to go to break. When we come back, we've got more with Zach Brock.
Secure Restoration Services is proud to be chosen the expert for the Ask the Expert show in the areas of water damage restoration, mold, mildew removal, as well as fire and smoke damage. They are licensed and insured. Secure Restoration Services deals with emergency mold and water damage. They are dedicated to preventing and removing the dangers of mold. You need to keep your family and your pets safe from harm's way. So if you feel you might have mold building up in your home, call the professionals at Secure Restoration Services at 561-203-3733. Secure Restoration Services are mold and water damage experts, providing mold inspection, mold testing, mold removal, and flood damage restoration in Palm Beach, Boca Raton, Delray Beach, Jupiter, and surrounding areas. They are dedicated to nothing short of excellence in their restoration work, which has given them the outstanding reputation for quality and customer service that sets them apart from their competition. Secure Restoration Services has the knowledge and experience to effectively handle any size home or commercial building, and they do it in a professional and friendly manner. Call them now at 561-203-3733 or go to their website at www.securerestorationfla.com.
And we're back. We could do a 2-hour show on this so easy. And because we're such backwards people, you know what? I forgot to ask Zach the most important question
What's that, Steve?
about your company. Just a little background on your company, the services that you offer.
Sure, and I get so excited talking about mold and mildew and trying to help people out that we skipped that part
And
of it
dude, let
before.
me tell you something. I just called him dude. Wow, I'm slipping. We are in the part of the country with all the moisture we have here that, I mean, if there was a part of the country that mold or even with water damage is going to happen, this is the part of the country. So this should be a very important, if you're a homeowner, a condo owner, management, this
Business
is an
owner.
very important show. So tell us about the company.
Sure. I'm the owner of Secure Restoration Services. We started doing this down here in 2010. So we've been around here a while. I was doing it in North Carolina before that. And this is my passion. This is what I love to do.
You couldn't tell.
We'll come in and we help people who are sometimes in the worst state of their life, dealing with a flood or dealing with a fire
Right.
or dealing with a major health issue. And we're able to come in, build their insurance company, help them to do this where they're not coming out of pocket, and leave them safe and healthy. And that's a great feeling. But back to our company, we cover, like I said, Broward, Palm Beach, Martin, St. Lucie, Okeechobee counties, and we're getting ready to expand even beyond that. We've been blessed and very successful with what we do. And we're here to help the homeowners in their time of need. And we encourage them, put our phone number down. You might not need us today, but if you own a home in Florida, you're going to need us, whether it's from a hurricane that's eventually going to come,
That's right.
whether it's from a flood, whether it's from, God forbid, a fire or something like that. We're here to help you.
You know, we have so many of the snowbirds listen to our show. Even when they're back up in New York, they listen to our show. But when they go to leave their condo,
They turn up the air.
Big problem. They turn up the air.
Yes.
They put it at 80 or 82. It's going to save them 20 or 30 bucks a month on that electric bill every month. But then when they walk back in that front door, they're calling Secure Restoration Services because there's
It's a feeding
green
frenzy in
film
there.
of mold over everything that they own. And
It's green, Zach?
oh, it can be green, it can be black, it can be typically what grows in humidity is what's called Penicillium aspergillus. It's
I
one
thought
of
That's not medication? I took that for a cold.
it's actually derived from one of the genus and
Yeah.
species and used in that, but I won't bore you with those details. But this is one of the major respiratory irritants. It's one of the most serious molds that you have out there.
The green one?
It's called Penicillium
Okay.
aspergillus, and this is what typically it doesn't need a water source to grow. You don't need a flood. Humidity is enough to make this grow, and in the subtropical climate that we live in, with all the plants and vegetation that we have, it's present just in your outdoor air. So if it gets trapped inside your home, it becomes a very humid environment. It starts to grow, and you can walk into thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars worth of damage because you tried to save 20 or 30 bucks on the electric bill. Don't do that. Keep it at 76 to 78 degrees, never higher than 78, and make sure your AC stays running while you're gone.
So if it's on the walls, I mean, would you have to remove the sheetrock typically?
When it's just surface growth like that, a lot of times you can treat it. You can HEPA vacuum it. You can put antimicrobial wipe down. But a lot of your soft goods, like your clothing, your carpets,
It grows on clothing?
carpets, suedes, leathers, a lot of that stuff ends up having to be disposed of.
Wow.
And worst part about it, it's not covered by insurance, any kind of insurance, because there wasn't a covered loss. It wasn't a leak. It wasn't an event that happened. You leaving your AC on too high is not considered an event.
So you snowbirds out there need to listen to that because that is not covered by insurance. So that
Absolutely.
could cost you a hefty dollar.
Definitely. And if you're gone for 2 or 3 months, have one of your neighbors pop in every month. Make sure your AC is still running.
Well, people are usually afraid if they leave their AC running that they're going to have a leak. Because I know my father has said that to me.
Or a big
in the
electric
past.
bill.
Oh, big electric. Well, that's that too. But I'm just saying that they're always afraid of leaks because the air conditioning sometimes
You know what?
freezes up.
Sometimes it will happen, but guess what? A leak's covered.
Right. That's true.
Worst case scenario, and that
That
did
is true.
happen, which if you're maintaining your AC system and you've got a decent AC system, it's not going to leak. If it does happen, that's a covered loss. That's a covered event. Any damage ensuing from that, your insurance company is going to cover.
That's nice to know. See that?
If you had to take a chance of one, take one where you
I'd
know that
rather
you're
have
going to
a
be
leak.
covered.
Exactly.
Now, does your company do anything with grout and tile at all, or any other areas besides water damage, restoration, and mold and mildew?
We will do the rebuild on homes when we come in and we've done like a tear out for them. We don't do outside construction projects just on their own, but if we've been involved in removing your bathroom or your kitchen or whatever the case may be, we can help you start to finish within that. You don't have to deal with 5 different contractors getting your
and
house
you
put back
don't
together.
have to go with the person that's recommended by the insurance company.
Most times you shouldn't.
Exactly.
That person is in a contract with the insurance company if they got recommended there. And the insurance company has a vested interest in paying as little as money as possible. So they can dictate to them the terms of what needs to be done to restore your home. And it's not really in your best interests.
I think leaks probably occur when you least likely expect them
well,
to.
everybody has a leak.
So are you 24/7?
24/7, 365, Christmas, Thanksgiving, we'll come out there whenever your disaster strikes.
How long does it take to do like mold remediation?
Depends on the size of the project. Sometimes you can come in and you might have an entire home that needs to be done. Obviously, that's a longer project. Typical projects, and this is just for the taking out and the remediating the mold and getting rid of it, not doing any rebuild. Typical project will take between a week and 10 days.
Now, see, with ours, since we have wheels on our home, it probably wouldn't take but a couple minutes.
I
to
think
do
we need
ours.
some new wheels.
Bring it by the office.
drive it
and we'll
by.
take care of it.
Drive it over to Secure
Have you seen the keys
Restoration.
lately?
That's funny.
You know, it's amazing because we've been working with so many companies that do home improvement. If you've been in business, like you've been in business for 5 years just down here, that means you must have great service to keep those doors open, because if your service is bad, word will get around.
Especially for a company like ours that doesn't take work from the insurance company. We're completely reliant on
Word of mouth.
referrals,
Which
word
is
of mouth,
huge.
any advertising that we do. But we've got to back up what we do. We don't have an insurance company that's just sending us work. And we're really, really proud of some of the accomplishments we've had down here. We just won the 2014 Super Service Award for Angie's List for top rated mold
Wow.
company in
That's
South
big.
Florida.
That's
It's huge.
wonderful. Mazel tov.
Go online, check out our reviews.
Give everybody your website.
Absolutely. Our website is www.securerestorationfla.com.
How long does it take for mold to grow once you have a leak?
It'll start growing within 24 to 48 hours.
Wow.
Wow.
24 hours.
Sure, mold is everywhere around you. The spores are in the air that we breathe. It's just part of nature. It's got its purpose that it was established for here. But when you start adding water to that and you put it on any type of a building material that's porous, sheetrock, baseboards, crown molding,
And like your flooring.
wood flooring.
No, I'm not saying if you have
absolutely.
tile flooring, the grout, does the grout get mold and mildew?
The grout can get that inside the grout. You can get it some growing underneath it in the concrete set materials, depending on where the leak was. There's a
It
lot
gets
of
everywhere.
It does. That's why the main thing is when you've got a leak, don't wait. Call. We'll come out. We'll dry it out. Anything that the dry out costs, like I said, gets billed to the insurance company, and that's far less than what it's going to cost you to go through a rebuild of certain areas of your home because it didn't get dried out.
Well, everybody's learned today they better check their insurance policy.
Well, Zach offered to read over their insurance policy to make sure that they're covered for
Go
mold
get a
mildew.
pen right now before we're coming towards the end of the show, because we want you to write down this phone number, because either you want your insurance checked, or
I want my insurance checked.
I want my
Yes.
house checked to see if there is any mold there, because you can't see it everywhere.
No, and I like the fact that he comes in to do air quality tests as well.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I love that.
And one of the things that we will offer, again, also to your listeners here today, is we're willing to come out and give you a free visual inspection of your home if you think you've got water damage or mold. Most of the time, we charge $295 to come out and do an inspection.
That's a great offer.
Call us up. Make sure you say you heard about us on Ask the Experts. We will come out free of charge to anywhere in our service area. We'll give you a visual inspection. Take a look at it. We'll use our tools, show you some of the tricks of the trade.
You come in with goggles?
We've got goggles, the hats, the helmets. We've got it all. And if you need further testing at that point, we'll tell you. If you need assistance in making a claim with your insurance company, we'll give you some direction there as much as we can. And we'll be happy to come out and help you out.
This is about your health. This is about your health and having.
I know, because you're kecking
I know,
and I have
I am.
headaches.
I am. I
Yeah.
bet you that's what it is.
Absolutely.
So give them your phone number. Write this down, because I'm telling you, you should be calling them Monday morning.
Monday
How
morning.
about today? They should be
They have a
calling
leak, they better call today.
That's it. Take it, put it on your fridge, put it next to your phone. At some point, you're going to need our phone
This
number.
is your health now we're talking
This
about.
is your
Yes.
health, and it's the value of your property. Two things that are extremely important. So the number's 561-360-2171. Tell us you heard us about us on Ask the Experts. Ask for Zach. Say you want Zach to come out and check your house out. I'll personally come out and check your home for you.
Perfect.
Hey, we bring you the creme de la creme, so you don't have to start Googling something. That's the
You
craziest
don't
way.
want to do that. Exactly.
You've got Zach's number, and we're going to go to break. Zach's on with us every month, and when we come back, we have Gil Belu of Belu and Belu Law, our foreclosure attorney.
We do.
We'll be right back.
Secure Restoration Services is proud to be chosen the expert for the Ask the Expert show in the areas of water damage restoration, mold, mildew removal, as well as fire and smoke damage. They are licensed and insured. Secure Restoration Services deals with emergency mold and water damage. They are dedicated to preventing and removing the dangers of mold. You need to keep your family and your pets safe from harm's way. So if you feel you might have mold building up in your home, call the professionals at Secure Restoration Services at 561-203-3733.